In today's tutorial, let's work on the beginner's baby blanket, a really easy idea, and this is great for beginners as well. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're working on the beginner's baby blanket, and this is a pattern that I filmed back in 2011 that I have revamped because the colors of the Bernat Blanket Yarn have changed, but also my skills as a tutorial host have changed as well, and I have better technology in order to show you the stitches versus what I could many years ago. So this is a beginner's baby project. We're using double crochet going around in a square. In order to do this particular blanket, you need only 2 balls of the Bernat Blanket Yarn. This is for babies. So this is about a 33-inch square size, and of course if you would like to make it bigger you can do so just by adding more yarn. Today we're using the Bernat Blanket Brights, and all of the colors are really quite amazing. There's also variegated in this particular yarn line as well, and this is really quite fun. So the pattern that you see here, the color is called Sweet and Sour. So this is exactly how it comes out of the ball. You can see it's kind of got a neat striping effect going on. I don't know if that'll go on for the whole thing, but it's actually kind of working out that way and it seems pretty neat. So for today's tutorial you are going to need Bernat Blanket Yarn and a 10mm size N crochet hook in order to do this. I'm going to be showing you step by step, and if you're a beginner crocheter you should be able to get this pattern lickety split. Without further ado, I'm an informal tutorial host. I just tell it the way it is and hopefully that you can follow along and make your very first projects. So let's begin and start step by step. So let's begin working on the project, and I'm going to create a slip knot to begin. Now once you get started on this project, how you get in as far as bigger size, you'll see the repeat pattern in it as we get along. So let's create our slip knot. If you don't know how to create a slip knot, this is how you do it. So you're going to point your finger like you're gossiping about the woman across the table, and oh my goodness, have you seen her lawn? Her flowers certainly need watering. So you're going to point at her and say that is her. So what I want you to do with the other hand, while you're pointing, take the yarn strand and go up over your finger twice like this. Okay, so this string over here is leading to the yarn ball and this is the end. So just point, okay, you're talking about her garden, and just go around your finger twice. Now lock everything in just by grabbing and pinching it. This is the back of your hand, this is forward. I want you to take the back one and just move it up over the forward but not over top of your finger, and now take the new back one and go up over your finger like so. Okay, so let me show you again. So you're going to gossip about her nasty garden, and you're going to just pinch, okay, back of your hand forward. Take the back, move it over the forward but not over the finger, and now take the new back one and go up and over. We have other tutorials available on just this particular one on YouTube if you need any more assistance, or just reverse this video. Now insert your hook in, size N, 10mm crochet hook today. Pull it snug. Do not tie it down like it's a boat to a dock. You need to make sure that you can get your hook out quite easily. So let's begin working on the first round. To begin the very first step, we're going to create a chain of 4. Remember that the hook one already on there, the slip knot, never counts as 1. So we're going to yarn over and pull through. So 1, 2, and keep doing that, 3, and only 4. And once you get 4 on there, I want you to take the hook and insert it into the beginning chain that you started with. Pull the yarn through to create the center ring of your blanket. Okay, so there is the center ring right there, right where my finger's popping out. So we're going to be playing within the center ring then for the remainder, and what I want you to do with this string, that's the end piece, is just wrap it around as if it's part of the ring, and therefore the starting string will get caught underneath and you'll never see where the string started with. So let's begin round number 1. To begin round number 1, we're going to simply crochet, and we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now in the rules of this particular pattern, this chaining 3 counts as a double crochet. So I want you to double crochet 2 times into the center ring right where my finger's poking through, and so you wrap the hook going into the center ring, pull through 2 and 2. That's a double crochet. We have other videos on YouTube if you would need to know how to do double crochet more slowly. So you're just gonna double crochet once again, and so with the chaining of 3 that you started with and the 2 here, you have a group of 3, which is what we're looking for. Now we want to turn around and we want to start doing another side of your square afghan. So you're going to chain 1 and then put another 3 into the center ring. So just yarning over and pulling it. Do you see how I'm catching this string underneath the center? So it's getting stuck underneath the stitches. So there will be 3 double crochets on this side of the afghan. Okay, so now you got two sides done. Okay, you can kind of see it there. So now let's do another side. So we're going to chain one again and then coming back into the center ring again for 3 more double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. And then finally we're going to do the final side. So we're going to chain one first so we can turn the corner, and then coming into the center of the ring one last time is do another 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. Now look at this whole round versus the size of my hand. This is how fast this afghan grows. So to finish off this round, you chain one first and then insert your hook into the top chain. Do not insert it into a gapping space where my fingers are going through. Go only into a chain. So just insert in, yarn over, pull through and through. So now you have all 4 sides, and on each one of the corners you have a chain one space. Let's move along to row number 2, but I'm going to get rid of this center one that's out hanging. That's extra string that was not buried in. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut it right down to the project, and you will never see where it stopped and started. So let's move along now to round number 2. In round number 2 and all other rounds, what we're going to do is build on the foundation of what is in the row below. So we all have corners, and then we have the spaces between the corners, which are these, and I slangily call that the runway. So you got to work it, girls, and then you get to the corner, you do your turn, and then you work it down the next one. So I call that the runway. That's just my own terminology. It's nothing official in any book. So let's begin our next round. We're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a double crochet, and I want you to come into this space that's right below it, and I want you to double crochet into that space. So now what we're going to do on corners, there will always be the same thing. There will always be 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. So in this case, because we're starting on this side of the corner, we're going to come back and finish the other side of this corner when we come back around. So what we need to do is that we need to put in a double crochet to every double crochet that's existing. So here's the first one right here. Can you see it? Just follow it straight down. And you're going to wrap the hook, and going into the first stitch you're going to double crochet. And then you're just going to keep moving down the runway and double crochet into each of the double crochets as you go until you hit the next corner. Okay, so I'm out of double crochets. Here's my next corner. So as the corners, remember there was 2 double crochet. Okay, and then we're going to officially do our turn, so that's a chain 1, and then coming back in we're going to do 2 more double crochets. So we've officially just made a new corner. So every corner going out to the whole project, regardless how big you make it, will always be the same. So now you have 3 double crochets here, so that means that you have 3 stitches of double crochets working along. I'm not even worried about counting how many there are. I'm just making sure that there's going to be 1 double crochet in each of the double crochet as I work along. So there's really no math to really figure out. So here it's on the corner, and it's going to be 2 double crochets, remember. And how do you turn the corner? If you said chain 1, go have yourself a cookie. That's right. And coming back in we're going to double crochet 2 more times. So every corner again is 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. Coming along then we have another section here, and again I'm just double crocheting into each. Now in this case, do you see how this is kind of protruding into it? If that happens because you've been working on the corner, just move it out of the way. Just pull it and it'll bounce back into proper position anyway. It's yarn. So you're just, if you cannot see the stitch, just pull on it and it will move the stitches out of the way for you. Okay, and now you're coming to a next corner. Corners, what are they? 2 double crochet, turn by chaining 1, and then 2 double crochet, all within the same space. So we're coming up on the final runway. You can kind of see that it's got some sides done, and so we've already turned the corner, so we're going to put 1 double crochet in each double crochet. Just want to make sure I get them all. Don't skip anything, because then that's not the pattern. And then what's going to happen is that the final corner that you're running into is the first corner we started with. So 2 is already in, so we have to finish this corner by putting in 2 double crochet to start. We need to turn, so we're going to do a chain 1, Okay, so chain 1 and then just slip stitch it to the top of the beginning chain 3 that you started with, and then that completes that whole round, just like so. So you just have to use the same principle of going round and around doing the same thing. I'm gonna get you started on the next round. So now I'm gonna get you started on another round of using orange, and just for kicks I'm just gonna show you how to change color in the next round so that if you would like to make it multicolor you can. So you're going to start off this round by chaining 3. So 1, 2, 3. It's exactly how you did it before. Coming into this chain 1 space you're going to double crochet one more time. So that completes the first half of the corner. So now you're going to go all the way across until you hit the next corner right where I'm wiggling right there. So I can either count those stitches if I really wanted to, or I can just look at it and just say okay, every stitch needs a double crochet. So just put in a double crochet in each all the way across to the next corner. So this is one of those brainless patterns for us that are experienced at crochet. You can probably do this without even looking at your work, and this is also a great pattern for those that are beginning crochet because the stitch work is nice and easy to see. The yarn is really thick. In crochet some of us really like to push ourselves, and then other times we just like to sit back and watch TV and not worry about what's in our hands too much. So now that I'm at the next corner right where my finger's popping out, so corners remember is 2 double crochet. Okay, followed by chain 1 and 2 double crochet. So what I want you to do is go all the way around on this, the remainder on this, and when I come back I'm gonna show you how to finish this round, and then I'm gonna show you how to change colors, and just in case you'd like to do so. So I'm coming up all the way around the end. I can tell because this is starting in the first corner, so you can physically see that you are coming all the way around. So it's not something that's gonna surprise you or you're accidentally going to miss. So I'm just double crocheting into each of the double crochets all the way around, and then the final corner I restarted, remember, in the corner having 2. So the final corner I'm gonna finish it off with 2 double crochets followed by a chain 1. Sorry, 2 double crochets followed by a chain 1 now, and then I'm gonna slip stitch it to the top of the chain 3. So don't go into a gap, go right into a chain. So I'm now finished again. So if I want to continue this, just the same thing I already showed you, but what happens if you would like to change color? So what I would do to change color is cut it at about 8 inches, cut the string, and now take this string and pull it through all the way. And what I want you to do is take that straggler string and just going in and out of the loops of the stitches, just in and out, in and out, and go about 2 inches if you can. You can go a little bit longer if you wish. I wouldn't go any shorter than that for sure. This is really bulky yarn, so you want it to go. So because where I'm putting it, you're eventually gonna come back around and double crochet over top of this, is that this string is really gonna trap itself in a position, and then you can safely cut it then once you've gone all the way around right where it is right here. But let's begin our next color, and let's grab our yarn now. Okay, so I'm gonna play with yellow this time. Very sunshiny, very bright. It's called School Bus Yellow. The orange was called Carrot Orange. No kidding, right? So you're going to make a slip knot. So just like you started this other project, and right where you kind of finished it, so looking at the same corner, I want you to join the yarn. So just going into the chain 1 space, take the string that's leading to the yarn ball only and pull it through like so. So, and I want you to leave this other straggler down on top. So you're gonna now chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. So this is the same principle as if it was orange, but this time you're changing colors. So you're gonna double crochet into the same chain 1 space. So what you want to do is that just like you were doing before, but this time you want to keep this straggler down on top. So every stitch, just like you were doing before, is gonna get a double crochet, but make sure this is down on top of it so it's gonna be stuck underneath the stitches. And you're gonna go all the way around in the exact same fashion. Now the advantage to this particular idea is that once you get all the way back around, you're gonna run into the other one that we buried right here. So when you come all the way around, you're gonna go into a position here where this yellow is then gonna be right over top of it and hiding it into position. So you're just gonna go all the way across just like you normally would. Corners, do you remember what it was? Chain 2, or sorry, 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochet into the corner. So this is how you would do this. You can change colors as often as you wish. You'll just have to figure out the color combinations if you're gonna do so, and the yarn ball counts. You can make this Afghan any size you wish, including up to a king size Afghan if you wanted to. You just obviously need more yarn in order to do it, but because it's really thick yarn and a really big hook, it'll go really quick. So I'm on the corner. My body's just naturally doing the work because I'm an experienced crocheter without even thinking about it, which makes it a great project in front of the TV. So again, just double crochet into each, and let me come back at the end of this round and just review one last time. So I'm coming up all the way around and I'm running into the string that I've buried in, and all I want to do when I'm going into this area, which is the next stitch after this one, is that it's gonna be underneath. So I want to make sure that I'm trapping it underneath. So when I go into the stitch, I want to make sure that that string is still underneath. Okay, so don't over skip it by going around it. So it's in the next one. You just barely see it right here. Just right there, right where I'm pinching. And I want to double crochet so that it's stuck underneath these stitches. Okay, so it's getting right underneath, so I can safely cut it and you don't have to worry about it, which is a really neat idea. So I'm just gonna go all the way to the end of the corner. Remember in the corner that when we did this, is that we already started off in the corner, so we just got to finish this corner. And so there's gonna be 2 double crochets in there, followed by a chain 1, and then just join it to the top of the beginning chain 3. So you can either continue the yellow, you can change colors if you wish, but this is how you would do this particular idea. Now that I've gone over here, I can safely just trim this yarn out right where it's sticking out. The other one, the yellow, where I stuck it underneath as we went, can safely be cut out, and you will not see any loose ends coming out of this particular project. So this is how you would do a beginner's blanket, just like so. Really a nice idea. It's very cheerful, very big. Like this tutorial wasn't very long. Look how big it is already. You can do an Afghan of 33 inches square using 2 balls of the Bernat Blanket Yarn, the 300 grams, and it will take you about 2 to 3 hours in order to do it. So this is what it looks like, and hopefully you have a great day. And until next time, it's Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. Have a super day. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.